guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Fright Night. Now, anyone who knows Fright Night, anything about it, there are technically 4 Fright Night movies. There's the original Fright Night from 1985. There's Fright Night Part 2, which is an actual sequel with most of the same cast, from 1988. Then there's the remake of the original Fright Night, more modernized, a little bit different, from 2011. And then there's another Fright Night called Fright Night New Blood, or it's Fright Night 2 New Blood from 2013. So today I'm going to be giving my opinion on all 4 of the different Fright Night movies and telling you which one is my favorite. So I'll just go down the list. First is the original Fright Night from 1985. The effects are chef's kiss, beautiful. They're all handmade because it's in the 80s and, you know, special effects aren't really a big thing. You know, well, animated, CGI sort of effects. So everything is puppets and handmade, like, explosion, like, it's beautiful. Is it the best vampire movie I have ever seen? No, that's last place. Personal opinion. But it's really good, and the chemistry between the characters is really good, and the acting is awesome. And the only, like, real big issue with that movie is that the vampire, Jerry, falls in love with, like, a 17-year-old girl. I think she's 16 or 17. And he's, like, you know, the actor's, like, 30 or 40. And he plays a vampire who's much older. And that's kind of gross. But that's just the movie, so you gotta get past that. It's kind of a normal thing, the older vampire falling in love with the teenage girl. I mean, you got Edward and Bella, but Edward looks 17 and was turned when he was 17, so he's technically the same age as Bella, while in reality, like, Jerry looks like he's 30 or 40 because he was probably turned when he was 30 or 40. And, you know, Amy's like 16 or 17. So, it's a little different, a little creepier. That's, like, my only complaints with the movie, but they don't, like, get really weird. It's not like they do anything, like, you know. It does get a little weird when he does bite her. I'm like, but it's not bad. I'd probably rate it, like, a 7 or 8 out of 10. Some moments it's a little wonky, but, you know, it's 1985. Like, yes, I do enjoy it a lot. Then there was the sequel, Fright Night Part 2 from 1988. Now, this one I actually don't hate. A lot of sequels suck. Like, they're just really bad and not good. This one was actually really good. Most of the same cast was, well, there. You got Peter Vincent and Charlie, basically, from the original movie. So not most of the cast, like 2 people. But it was really good. The storyline was that Jerry's sister comes to town, tries to woo Charlie, turn him into a vampire, basically try to kill his new girlfriend, like getting back at him for killing Jerry. And I think the storyline was really good, especially the guy who ate bugs. He's just like, eh. Special effects were also handmade in this one, which is my favorite. My favorite vampire movies are from the 80s area, where a lot of the CGI isn't around yet, so it's all handmade effects, and it just, to me, is cooler. I also love this movie from the 80s called Dracula's Widow, which has some handmade effects as well, which I hate. So this movie, I'd probably rate it around the same, around 7 to 8 out of 10. The only, like, real big issue is, like, bite scenes, which are, like, you know, a staple of vampire movies. They're not very good in the 89 version. I mean, there's not many in the 85 one either, but there are at least a good 1 or 2. When the main vampiress bites Charlie, it's like, it could be better. They don't really show it, or she just scratches him with a fang. Like, it's not, like, they don't show it, which I'm like, you could do that. Just show it. I want to see his reaction going, or whatever. So that's my big complaint with that one. Also, the bug scene, I don't like bugs, so, like, I'm just like, no, you keep them, thanks. Other than that, I mean, the vampire dies in the end. Obviously, back then, even nowadays, usually the vampire loses. You know, in the end, the vampire dies, which is always unfortunate because the vampire's my favorite character. So, like, one of these times, let the vampire win, maybe? Or at least live, or something? Just saying. Then there is the remake of the first movie in 2011 with Colin Farrell playing Jerry. Now, this one's a lot more sexy. This Jerry's a lot more, you know, sexy. He's wearing, like, tank tops, and he's muscular, and he's, like, the dude who gets all the chicks and has a creepy area to hold them in. It's a lot more modernized, a little more creepy. I think that both movies are good, but I don't think it's really like a remake. It kind of is. They live in the neighborhood. He's killing people. He turns Evil Ed, who's McLovin, which is grand, honestly. My biggest pet peeve with that movie is David Tennant. I love David Tennant. I mean, he's the best doctor. Personal opinion, don't hate me. And I love his acting, but him as Peter Vincent, no. Like, Peter Vincent being what was it, a stage magician, stage actor, in black leather and stuff, no. I enjoy Peter Vincent being an old man who's kooky, who does the beginning of old vampire flicks. Now in 2011, those aren't a thing anymore, so really it doesn't, fit. It just look weird. But it's the fact that it's just a dude in like black, tight leather pants. Not good. I love David Tennant, but not in this movie. No, I don't. I think the 2011 movie is good. It's got a lot of famous people in it. The storyline's not horrible. I've cosplayed, original Jerry, using audios from this one.
I repel you with the power of Christ the Lord.
Do you? Really? That's a mighty big cross you got there, Charlie. The question is, do you have faith? Get back! Charlie, not the cross. Charlie, not the cross, Charlie. Come here.
And I like the movie. I like Colin Farrell a lot, and I think he's a hot vampire. I really do. But I don't think it doesn't give off the same vibes. It's a good vampire movie. Well, not like perfect, but it's a good vampire movie. I don't know if it's a good remake of the original. I guess. I don't know. There's a lot more CGI in the 2011 one, obviously, which is why I probably lean toward the 85 one more for that fact. But whatever. The plus to the 2011 one is they do show bites, like when he attacks Ed, rather in the 85 where they just like put a coat over and Ed screams. In 85, in the 2011 one, you actually see him bite Ed in a pool. When it comes to turning Amy, you can see the bite in both of them. The 2011 one's a lot more sexual, I think, because they kiss and she's all like, oh, loopy, and then he bites her. It's a lot more sexual. Well, his is sexual too. She takes her shirt off, so I don't know. Both are, wonky. It's a little bit. But I think 2011 one, it's a little more sexual because there's just one scene where he cuts his chest and she just like licks it up. Like, okay, dude, that did not happen in the 85 version. Just saying. No, the final one, the Fright Night 2. New Blood or something like that from 2013. Basically, Jerry's now a woman and is like Elizabeth Bathory, bathes in the blood of virgins, and there's a lot more boobs shown for some reason. Also, she has a giant pool of blood. So basically, Jerry is Elizabeth Bathory, and it takes place in Romania, I'm pretty sure, and she's trying to turn Amy and have her kill someone, and then she'll be able to walk in the sun, I think. Peter Vincent's just a douchebag TV dude. Still don't like him. I wish it was an old funny guy, not that. A little better than David Tennant, I guess. This movie has some good bite scenes in it. It has some good action scenes in it. It's not a horrible movie, but it's not Fright Night. You could call it Elizabeth Bathory something, because basically Jerry's Elizabeth Bathory. That's it. That's Elizabeth Bathory. It's not Jerry. It's not the same character. Yeah, her name's Jerry. But she's a woman, for one. Two, it takes place in Romania, not a small town. And she is a teacher, and she has a pool of blood. It's Elizabeth Bathory, not Jerry, so it's not a horrible movie. I'd also rate it, I'm rating all these 7, 8 out of 10. It's not perfect, but I don't hate it. I know a lot of people probably do hate it, but I don't hate this movie. It's just that it's not Fright Night. Also, why is it called Fright Night 2? It's not connected to the remake or any of the other ones. It's called Fright Night 2 New Blood, but it's a retelling of the story as Jerry's a woman and as Elizabeth Bathory and all this other stuff. So it's not really connected to any of the other movies. So having it be called Fright Night 2 does not make lick of sense. But whatever. In conclusion, my favorite out of all of them is Fright Night 1985. I do enjoy Fright Night 2011 and pretty much all of them, but I think the 85 version is my favorite because it's the first. I love the acting in it. I love the special effects. There's little wonky moments, but it's not horrible. Plus, I met the guy who played Jerry in the original. Like, I actually went to a convention and got a picture with him, so I lean toward that one for obvious reasons. But of course, I don't hate any of the other movies, just they're okay. Comment down below what you guys think. Which of the Fright Night movies do you enjoy the most and why? Also, if you hate any of them and you think they're total trash, let me know down below. Do I love all of them? No. Pretty much I like Fright Night and Fright Night Part 2 from the 80s. Those two, great. 2011 remake, not bad. 2013, not bad, but it's not Fright Night. It's basically just another vampire movie about Elizabeth Bathory. So, yeah. Comment down below what you guys think. I'm curious to see what your opinions are on these movies. And if you knew there were 4 Fright Night movies, because there are. Alright guys, I will see you on Thursday with another True Crime Thursday, and Monday with whatever I decide to post. Alright guys, see you later. Whew.